Guys, welcome back. My name is Danielle and this is going to be my update on my ketogenic journey on weight loss for weight loss. So if you guys are wondering how I am doing while keeping it super simple, basic AF, keto, then please stay tuned. Hey friends, welcome back. I hope you guys are doing well. So I had initially planned on putting out a different video today, but I had like a lot of non-scale victories over the weekend and I wanted to share it with you guys. So I think it's really important to celebrate non-scale victories. I mentioned it in my previous video not to give the scale so much power and to let it really be your number one indicator of success on your journey. Is it important to make sure that the scale is moving? Yes. I mean, obviously you don't want to keep, you know, if you're eating a certain way and you're gaining and opposed to losing, I'm really sorry, Leo's working on the basement. If you are gaining and opposed to losing, then you know there's an issue. But the scale shouldn't only be your only measure of success. Like I've been saying, take pictures, do measurements, all the things. I recently took my measurements. When did I take them? Today's Sunday, so I took it on Friday. And yeah, 'cause that's when I weighed in. So when I weighed in on Friday, I'll give you a drum roll, I did lose. I didn't lose like a whole lot. I was 184.6. So I think it's like maybe a half a pound or so I lost this week. I'm okay with that. You know, it's not like a, you know, I dropped 5 pounds this week. No, I didn't, but I lost and I feel good. So I took my measurements and my waist is 33 inches on the head. My hips were like 36 on the head, and that's honestly, those are the only two I really care about. I mean, I don't really measure my thighs. They're usually around like 24 each of them, and then my arms are like 12 usually. They're pretty, those are my legs are very stubborn in on my body. They never really get much smaller, to be honest. It's weird. Yeah, I'm just a thick girl. I'm just lucky like that, you know. I got the tree stumps, but nonetheless, it was nice to see. I feel like I can definitely see the progress. I should stand up and show you guys. So here is my I'm gonna give you guys just a profile here. So here is my belly. There we go. You could see, like, you could start seeing a little bit more. I'm gonna push out. And that's me pushing out. So my belly is a lot flatter. I don't feel, I mean, obviously I don't have like a six pack and stuff, you know, but I feel like I'm definitely seeing a lot more inches lost right here. Definitely. I felt like my midsection, especially when I would see myself in videos, it was really puffy. So, and then sucking it in. If I could just not breathe. Ooh, I'll be slim for show. But all right, so that's that little update there. All right, now that I showed off all the goodies and stuff, but non-scale victories. So over the weekend was my mom's birthday, and if you guys seen any of my recent videos, I did one maybe 2-3 weeks ago, and it was a clothing haul on how like I wanted to celebrate accomplishments, not with food. And I mentioned this before. Don't celebrate a weight loss with food. I did that. When I was on Weight Watchers, my weigh-in days used to be Saturday. And if I lost or I gained, it did not matter. I completely did not count that day. And I celebrated either tracking all week, and it usually was when I lost, honestly. I would go, even if I didn't lose, like I would just go off the chain. I would like bring snacks in my purse to my meetings when I used to go. And as soon as I like weighed in and I did my meeting, I had like what are those Uncrustable sandwiches and like a Snickers in there, and I just ate so bad. I remember, honestly, I would eat so bad and eat all the things I know I shouldn't, and I would like physically be sick. Like I would throw up. It was such a bad cycle. And you know, like we were out and stuff like that, and they had cake, and they're like, oh, just have a piece of cake, it's fine, you can do a cheat day. And I was like, no, I don't need a cheat day, I just don't want it. Oh, everybody wants a piece of cake. No, I don't want it. Like, it's just, no thank you. And stop, like, you know, I don't need to celebrate. Oh, you did good. That's my mom saying, you did great all week. Just have yourself just a small piece. No, I'm good. I'm not hungry for it. I don't want it. Like, it's just those things where, like, I'm not going to celebrate my success with a treat. Like, it's like when Benny gives me his paw and I give him a treat. I'm not a dog. You know, you're not a dog. You know, treat yourself as the prized possession that you are. Again, sorry about the stuff. Construction. But, so yeah, I did not cheat at all, which was remarkable. I did have a couple, like, sodas. Like, everybody was drinking and stuff. I just had some Diet Pop. Not the best, but I feel like given the situation, I was pretty proud of that. I probably could have done, like, more waters or something like that, but I feel like given the situation, that was a huge victory for me. You know, when we went out to eat, I ordered something called the steak salad. So it was 4 ounces of, like, sirloin steak on a bed of lettuce, and it came with like tomatoes, cucumbers, and blue cheese and croutons, but I didn't get the croutons, and then a ranch dressing. So I only put half of the blue cheese. It was like a cup. I only put half the blue cheese and then half the serving of the ranch, and it was good, and I was satisfied, and I enjoyed it, and I didn't feel like I was being left out. And it's hard to make that adjustment, and I feel like that alone, even if I didn't lose this week, that would have been such an accomplishment for me. But then I was getting ready to go, and I was like, man, what am I gonna wear? A lot of my clothes have gotten tight on me, and they were like, my jeans were uncomfortable because they would, like, hurt my stomach after a while because they were tight in my belly. I felt like all my shirts, my stomach kind of hung out of them, or like I looked like I just looked chubby, and I didn't like anything. So all I've been wearing has been, like, t-shirts and leggings, because that's all that fits me right now. Sweatpants are all that fits me. If you guys are new here, I quote a lot of movies. It's just, like, my thing. And, you know, it was hard. So anyways, I was getting ready, and I had bought this one-piece suit. It was so sharp, and it was in the video, and it fit me, but it fit me tight. Like, it was real tight in my midsection, and even taking it off, it was, like, tight up there, and I couldn't take it off myself. Like, if I had to go to the bathroom when previously wearing this before I lost any weight, I couldn't have wore it because it would have been too tight, and it was just, like, uncomfortable. Like, I felt like if I made one false move, a button was gonna pop. So anyways, I went to go and wear it. I went and tried it on yesterday, and that sucker fits. It was loose in the way, loose. I even went, like, pulled it out, and I was like, okay. Like, it was looser in the chest. Like, it fit like a freaking glove. It was perfect, and I was like, and I was just walking around. I didn't even end up wearing it because we had a lot of really bad rain, and I didn't have shoes to match with it that were closed toe, so I didn't end up wearing it. But I was like, okay. So then I was like, let me find something else. I ended up wearing just a pair of black jeans that I haven't been wearing because they've been really tight on me, and just a shirt, like a little red shirt, and it fit so good. People were they're like, man, Danielle, did you lose weight? Like, you look really good. Man, your face looks so, what's going on with you? You look really good. Like, my aunts, my uncle, like, I went to my girlfriend's house. She was like, dude, I see it in your face, in your arms, your midsection. Like, how much have you lost? Like, you look so good. And I haven't seen my girlfriend probably in, like, 2 weeks. And she was like, wow, did you lose a lot of weight since then? And I was like, girl, let me tell you what we're doing. So it was really, like, when people hype you up, that's like, so when people hype you up about your weight loss, and they can see, when somebody else can see what you're doing, it's, like, amazing. So when you guys were like, Danielle, I see it in your face, and I was like, so just because you feel like you don't see it does not mean somebody else won't. So don't give up. Also, I wanted to kind of come back and, like, bring it back around about the 3-day challenge. I asked you guys last Monday to give me, are you almost done? So I asked you guys last week to give me 3 days, and I seen so many of you saying, like, yes, Danielle, I'll give you the 3 days. And I would love to hear. So if you guys tried the basic keto for those 3 days, let me know down below. Did it work for you? Am I just, like, spewing garbage and just, you know, trying to reinvent the wheel? Or do you guys see where you went wrong, where we went wrong with adding the frills and all that stuff? I would love to know. Leave it all down below. I mean, I would like to know, just from my own testament, to be like, see, it is something that we were doing, like, it works, you know. So please leave that down below. I've been getting a lot of questions too. So you guys know I use the Keto Mojo meter. This is the Keto Mojo meter. It checks my ketones and my glucose. I check mine, everybody asks, I check mine in the morning when I wake up. And I noticed, like I said, a lot of you guys were like, Danielle, there's something called the sunset effect or the sunrise effect, where when you wake up in the morning, your ketones tend to be lower and your glucose tends to be higher because that's your body's way of just waking up. So what I've been doing is not doing it first thing when I wake up. So I've been waking up early. I've been waking up around like 5:30, and I will go ahead and start checking my ketones when I go to have my coffee at 8 a.m. And I've noticed that my glucose has gone down. It's usually around 80, in the 80 range, and my ketones, I'm still like a 0.4, 0.5. So I know that, and a lot of people, I feel like there's a lot of different ideas on how and what I should do. I had said, okay, well, I'm going to start adding more fat. So I started incorporating Bulletproof coffee into my morning routine. And I did notice that I needed to, I was only initially doing it with the Power Creamer, which has a slight amount of MCT in there. And what was I doing it with? A tablespoon of Kerry butter and like coffee, right? And it was only, I think it was about 160 calories. It wasn't filling enough, so I noticed that I was getting hungry. So I was like, all right, I knew I had to get an MCT oil. Perfect Keto does offer a powdered MCT oil. I'm not a powdered MCT oil fan. I don't want too much things in my coffee. You know what I mean? Like, I already do the Perfect Keto, keto collagen in my coffee. So, I didn't want to do like a whole bunch. I just wanted something to throw in there, and I just didn't want the powder. I always prefer to do the liquid MCT oil for my coffee, and I really liked, at one point, was the 310 Nutrition, their MCT oil. That stuff was really, really good, and it doesn't cause any GI upsets, and I really liked it, but I ran out, and yeah, so I haven't replenished it. I asked Leo to pick me up some when he went to the store, and let me show you what he came back with. This is the one that he picked up for us. So this is the one that he picked up, and I think it looks pretty good. I was just kind of reading it, and it's a 100% pure MCT oil, supports a ketogenic diet, 100% coconut, sustains energy, clean fat for fuel. And yeah, so and I looked at the ingredients, and it just says ingredients is medium chain triglyceride oil. So I don't know. I'm going to start adding 1 tablespoon of this into my coffee and do like a pure Bulletproof coffee to do as a replacement meal, you know, in the morning. So I'm going to start doing that probably tomorrow. And people were like, well, why would you add more fat? Your body's going to use that fat for energy and not the fat on your body. The reason why I added more fat to my diet was because I was getting hungry. And I know from previous experience that I eat enough protein. I get enough protein. I always have a big portion of protein with every meal. And a lot of my meats have been on the leaner side. So I do know that, you know, it was more, my diet was mostly all protein, very low, very, very low carb. And then it just wasn't enough fat. 'Cause like I said, I was finding myself hungry. So I knew I needed to add the fat. So that's why I decided to do that. If you find yourself hungry, you're not supposed to be hungry on a ketogenic diet. You know, it's not a starvation diet. It is something to basically, you are taking your metabolism and you're flipping a switch, you know, and you're going to go into fat burning mode, but you have to become fat adapted. Just because I'm reading, I feel like, and I've done my research, I've watched all the doctors, Dr. Beery, what's the other guy? There's so many doctors. I mean, I'm listening to all of them as I'm cleaning, as I'm doing stuff, as I'm editing. I got them all playing in my ears to listen to what they have to say. So, I mean, some people have conflicting stories. But, and just because I am reading that I have ketones in my system doesn't necessarily mean I'm fully fat adapted. You know, it's not only the numbers on here. The numbers on here are a good indicator. They're a good indicator that I'm doing things right. And I know that. I know that if I'm okay, if I'm checking this, all right, I'm going to eat this, and I check my ketones and I'm like, all right, I'm still in ketosis. My blood sugar's in a good range. I'm looking good. I'm doing it right. Keep going. You're on the right track. But it just doesn't happen overnight. Like I think people, when they say, oh, you're in ketosis, you're fat adapted. No, it takes time. It takes time to basically change your body over into it, okay? And I know that, and that's why I decided to add in the fats. If now I notice that my weight starts skyrocketing while I'm adding, then you go back and you change it up. You know what I mean? But you have to listen to your body. You have to watch the scale, watch the numbers, listen to how you're feeling, and go from there. It's not a one size fits all. For example, my husband likes to take exogenous ketones. He likes the way they feel. He likes the energy they give him. I'm not a fan. I don't like them. I don't like the way they taste, to be honest. I don't think they taste the best. Do you read a high level of ketones in your blood when you take exogenous ketones? Yes. Does that mean you're fat adapted? No. It's just you have exogenous ketones in your body that are just going to, you're going to read them real quick and then you're going to pee them out and you're going to be done with it. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's switching your metabolism into the fat adapted mode that we need to be in. And that is the goal. That's the goal of how I'm eating, is I want to be completely fat adapted. Do I think I'm getting there? Yes. How do I know I'm getting there? I could tell you that my appetite is decreasing. I am looking at even I can probably, some days I can get away with only doing like an OMAD type thing, where I'll just do like the Bulletproof coffee and like a pretty significant lunch and then call it a day. Some days I'm just not hungry because, the meal I had a nice amount of fat in it and this and that. I have been doing some more cheeses, but I have learned, and this is where I'm finding it to be how I can do it, is if I get the cheese in the brick, not the cheese like from the Sargento cheese or the shredded already cheese or the little cheese curd balls and all, like the stuff that comes in the brick and you have to cut it and trim and do all that. I feel like if I can eat that and it doesn't bother me, but I feel like if I eat the stuff that's already been through like the mill, that stuff will kind of mess with me. Still being very conservative with cheese. As far as that's one thing. I still got to be concerned, but I am adding it in just for that extra fat, and I do feel like that is definitely helping me out. I also want to talk about numbers because I get sometimes I get some really nasty emails and people are like, you don't know what you're talking about. So I want to come back to this as a reference. This is the Keto Mojo reference guide that they sent me when I got my monitor, okay? And this is what it looks like. So, okay, and this is on their website, okay? So I've read this before and I just want to kind of give you guys a thing here. So it says light nutritional ketosis is a 0.4 to a 1.0. Optimal keto zone is a 1 to 3. Post exercise, optimal therapeutic zone is 3 to 5. And anything from like 5 and above, you have to worry about like decay, like ketoacidosis. And then you do an optimal glucose zone. So it's 60 to about 83 is good, is optimal. Good is 97 to about 108, and warning is anything above 130. So that's what we're looking at. I use these as guides, and this is what I go off of. I mean, this is the meter I use. These are the experts, and that's what I go off of. So this is where, when people are like, where do you get your numbers from? So-and-so, this is where I get my numbers from, and this is the meter I'm using, so these are the numbers I'm going to follow, and that's it. I remember before it was anything above a 0.5 was considered ketosis, but I guess now they're starting at a 0.4. So I do also want to just thank everybody for being super supportive and just kind of being here. It is definitely, I feel like these last couple weeks have been such an eye-opening experience for me. I feel like I've done keto many of times and for a long time, but I feel like this time it's completely different. And I think it's because I'm taking that basic keto, no frills approach, and I'm really paying attention to things I never thought I should pay attention to, such as ingredients. I went to the grocery store this morning and Leo's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm reading the ingredients. And he's like, oh, it's only 1 carb. And I was like, no, I'm reading the ingredients. You got to read the ingredients. And he's like, for real? And I was like, yes, I said, Lee, they put so much stuff in there and filler and stuff. So I remember I brought those wraps, the crepini wraps, and I looked and it said 0 carb, and I was like, cool, we're gonna eat it. I actually read the ingredient label, and it's full of rice and wheat flour. And I was like, how the hell are these 0 carbs? Like, I don't want rice and wheat filler. Like, these are the things that I didn't even know, and I bought it. So then I ended up giving it to my dad. I'm like, here, you could have it, you know, just because he doesn't take the cleaner approach as I do. And he's like, oh, okay, I'll take them, you know. So it just blows my mind. And I feel like that, my friends, is such an eye-opening thing. And you're gonna tell, like, I can tell, like, with that stuff in the creamer, like, I could tell right away that it was something bad was in there because of how it was reacting to my stomach. I did pick up the organic half and half. Now it does have that gum selling in it or whatever, but from what I've read, that's basically okay. Like, we should be okay with that. It's a way of life. This isn't a diet. This isn't like, all right, I'm gonna do keto for 30 days to fit into my bathing suit for Mexico, and then, you know, that's it. No, like, this is a way of life. This and it can be completely sustainable. And I remember thinking, like, I'm eating my own words, because I remember being like, I don't want a piece of fruit and this and that. Like, I can have a piece of fruit. I can have fresh strawberries. I can have fresh blueberries. I can have, you know, there's a whole list. I even believe watermelon's on there, to be honest. There's a whole list of fruit you can have. But it's eating the good things. You know, even with, like, a lot of people, I had got a comment from somebody, and she said, you are portraying this as a healthy diet, but you're eating mayonnaise and you're not eating grass-fed beef. And I was like, I'm not making my own mayonnaise because I don't want to. I'm sorry. Like, Hellmann's is where it's at. Duke's is good, but Hellmann's is the bee's knees. So I'm sorry. Like, if whatever, it's not like I'm eating mayonnaise every day, but whatever. Okay, I'm gonna stay on with my Hellmann's. And then it's the, you know, would I love to eat nothing but grass-fed, pasteurized, all this stuff? Yeah, I would. But that's not where my budget is in this world right now. So I feel like people shouldn't be so hard on somebody who, oh, because I had bologna. I had bologna that day. And she's like, that's awful. Yeah, I mean, look, I grew up poor, man. Bologna was like an everyday thing. I like bologna. And if that's keeping me, I'm not, you know, saying like, eat a pound of bologna every day, but if you're going to have 1 or 2 pieces, it's not going to break you. You know what I mean? And I'm fine. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like people shouldn't be so critical of others, because if you see somebody trying, and they're really trying, and they're really trying to be the best they can be within the means that they have, like, it's way cheaper to eat shit. It's way cheaper to buy cupcakes, Hostess Ho-Hos, Lunchables, frozen pizzas, you know, slider frozen burgers, you know, the shit. It's way cheaper. These, I don't know, it's basically, healthcare wants you to be fat. They don't make money off of healthy people. You know, they want you. That's why they push all this stuff, because they need you to be fat. They need you to be overweight. They need you not to be healthy. They need your arteries to be clogged. They need your heart to function shitty, it's like shit. You know, I know these things because I worked in healthcare for a very long time. You know, so if somebody's trying to make the best effort, then let them be, and just say, hey, you know what, I see you trying to make the best choices, and I applaud you, because I get down with that shit. So I don't ever want anybody to think because we can't have grass-fed or organic that you can't do it and be successful. You can. Live within your means. Don't put yourself in hock because you want to buy the $5.99 a pound ground beef because it's grass-fed. It's fine. Do what you got to do, babe. And that's just what it is. I'm more concerned about eating the things I need to, staying away from the carbs, staying away from the sugar, staying away from the unhealthy fillers, and making sure the things I am eating are not only, you know, feeding me, giving me the nutrition I need, but also maintaining a healthy glucose and a health, you know, keeping me in ketosis. That's what my life is right now. The weight loss is a bonus. But it's the mental clarity, it's the health, it's the happiness, it's the where you wake up and you're excited because you know you're doing everything you can to live a good, healthy, long life. And in the end of the day, that's all you want. So yeah, I don't know why this like took this weird turn, but I just wanted to kind of bring that up and kind of mention that. But again, I see you guys. I hope you guys are really enjoying these full days of eating. I have a lot. Some things might be redundant and repetitive, but I feel like the more I film, the more it keeps me accountable. And I feel like if you could see just a normal person like myself, not somebody who has a home gym and a home trainer and a nutritionist and, you know, all this shit, and you could tell that they've had plastic surgery, just a average person like me, who's just a girl from over here just chilling. Also, I'm not from Minnesota. Nothing wrong with being from Minnesota, but I am not from Minnesota. I've never been accused until the internet where everybody's like, she must be from Minnesota. No, I'm not. I'm from the south side of Chicago, born and raised. I don't know if it's like, I sound like, I always thought they sounded like the people from, like, you know, where they always say like, oh, that's crazy, Like, I don't, or is that Canada? I don't know, but I'm not from Minnesota. Anyways, I get that so much. And I even told Leo, I'm like, do we sound like we're from Canada or from Minnesota? And he's like, no. Anyways, I feel like if you can see just an average person, a mom, a wife, somebody who's just trying to get through your day in and day out, who's not going to lie and who's not going to do any crazy fasts or any crazy programs, and just saying, hey, this is what we're eating, this is what we're doing, we can do it together. Watch me be successful and do it with me, because the more you guys are here, the more people who watch, the more momentum it gives me to keep going. And I appreciate that so very much, because it's like somebody understands. You know, I grew up with skinny people my whole life. Nobody understands unless you've been through it. No one understands being trapped in a fat suit unless you've been in there. You know what I mean? And I appreciate that. And, you know, a lot of people, like I said, people act like keto is this like super cult, you know, everybody's okay with Weight Watchers, and like Weight Watchers now has a kids program, and, you know, everybody's cool with that. But once you say like keto and no carbs, they're like, oh, you need carbs. Carbs are essential for everyday living. All right, bro, like you do you. I'm not telling you not to do it. This is how I'm doing it. Like, why you got to criticize me, you know? So I just appreciate this community, because sometimes you have to like explain it, you know, like, oh, you don't eat carbs, why? And you're just like, here it goes, you know. And then people act like you're trying to like recruit them into a gang, like, yeah, come to the keto side, these are our colors, you know. We should have colors, that'll be cool. But yeah, so we're gonna continue on. Also, I did say that we were going to have a seasonings video that'll come up this week. We're going to have full days of eating. And then I always sprinkle in like a random video, whether it's like fashion, house, a random vlog, something about the basement. I always sprinkle those in, or if it's like a true crime video, just to keep things exciting and just to incorporate stuff that is just my everyday life, you know? So we're gonna have the seasonings video where we're making clean seasonings. I ordered all the stuff. The seasonings will be super clean, so you don't have to worry about all the fillers and stuff, because I love, my seasoning cabinet is jam-packed. I love seasonings. It's like my thing. And the more I read them, it's like, oh shit, this one has sugar in it. Oh shit, this, what is this? I don't even know what this is, you know? So it's the things where you're like, oh gosh, what is this? You know what I mean? And it's like the serving size is like 1/4 of a teaspoon, and you're like, what the hell? I use like freaking 5 tablespoons for this, you know? So we're definitely gonna make our own and see how it goes. So be on the lookout for that. Full days of eating, checking the ketones, weight loss, all this stuff. Stick around. It's going to be wild. I want to know how you're doing. If you are on weight. And also, I don't want people to think if you're like on Weight Watchers that I'm like dogging you out, because I love my Weight Watchers girls, okay? I was successful on Weight Watchers. I just feel like sometimes because you do keto that like you get like this like bad rap. Like I said, like it's like somebody compared it to being in a cult. And I was like, that's not cool. You know, because then like that's what people see it, and it's kind of embarrassing, you know. But yeah, so let me know how you guys are doing. Would love to hear it. Let me know down below. I'll wrap this video up because I think Leo stopped his work in order for me to finish this video. So I'll see you on the next one. Bye, friends.